kill whoever we want, take whatever we want. The second level of the pyramid is tribalism, where you have the tribes. And basically what that does, that protects you from me going into your tribe and clubbing your wife over the head and stealing her, and you doing the same to me. That's tribalism. You said the next level of the pyramid is the creation of a state, where you have this separate government that basically protects, that does all this stuff for us. That's what taxes are for, and that's what the government is for, to keep us all safe and to do all these things and to deal with other countries and keep the world balance in check. And his argument for that is you have to be okay with the government infringing on our privacy, infringing on certain amount of things to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And
that's one philosophy of democracy that's incompatible with mine. Remember, Dick Cheney was asked about all the innocent people that we had at Guantanamo. We had over 700 people at Guantanamo at one point, and almost all of them were innocent of any crime. And he said that he would rather arrest 1 million innocent people than to allow one guilty person to get off scot-free.
Did he really say that?
Yeah. And it's the same idea. Like, these guys would rather take away our civil liberties to stop another attack. I would rather maintain my civil liberties and risk another attack, because the civil liberties are more important to me.
What is it common for husband and wife to be in the CIA together?
Very. In fact, the CIA culture is such that they encourage CIA romances because you're both cleared. Right. So you can talk about, shit at night when you're laying in bed, and you're not violating your secrecy agreement. Listen, the CIA has softball leagues and football leagues and LGBTQ organizations and a quilting league and Christian organizations. Everything that you would want to do in your life, with other people, it's inside the CIA. And that way you can talk about work, and they can talk about work, and nobody gets in trouble. So
they try to keep you insulated from the outside world. Really.
They don't want you talking to other people out there. It's
wild.
Unsafe.
What were you doing in 2001? You were in Pakistan?
I went to Pakistan in January of 2002.
Okay.
When we started bombing Tora Bora at the end of October of 2001, and we pushed Al Qaeda over the border. So instead of trying to, climb these forbidding mountains to capture them one at a time, I had this idea. It seemed so simple, but nobody had thought of it at the time. And I said, listen, if we're just going to carpet bomb them in Tora Bora, we can kill who we're able to kill, but the rest of them are going to run into Pakistan. Right? Because we can't bomb in Pakistan. It was an allied country. So I said, instead of having people all the way up and down the Afghan-Pakistan border, and we're grabbing them one at a time, let's let them into Pakistan, let them get situated so that they feel like they're safe again. They're going to make a mistake. They always do. And then we can hit the safe houses. So instead of getting one at a time, we get 20 at a time or 50 at a time. And they said, they just hadn't thought of it. It was a crazy period too. It was, nobody was sleeping. People are jetting around the world just trying to catch people. It was rough. And so it was funny too. Like everybody else in the agency, sorry, I just
it's okay. Is that camera cool? Is my camera okay? Okay,
Sorry.
Cool. No, you're good.
Like everybody else in the building on 9/11, I volunteered to go to Afghanistan. Everybody volunteered, right? And they wouldn't take me. And I just couldn't understand it. I said to a buddy of mine, I don't understand this. I volunteered 3 times. They won't take me. I said,
how long had you been in the CIA at that point?
Almost 12 years.
Okay.
And my Arabic was fluent, right? So I ran into a guy. He was an old man, a contractor, legendary guy by the name of Billy Wah. Billy fought in the Second World War, Korea, and Vietnam, and had 17 Purple Hearts, if you can imagine such a thing. There was one guy in North Carolina who had 18, but it's the most in American history. right? The 18. Billy had 17. So Billy and I had done some fun stuff in the Middle East before 9/11, and about 6 weeks after 9/11, I ran into him in the hall, and I said, "Hey, Billy," I said, "where you been?" And he looks around and he goes, "I've been in Afghanistan." I said, "Yeah, what are you doing in Afghanistan?" And he looks at me like I'm nuts, and he says, "I've been killing people. What do you think I've been doing?" And I said, "That's why they haven't sent me." And he said, "Did you volunteer?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "My Arabic is fluent. I figured they would need interrogators." He goes, "We're not interrogating anybody." And I was like, that's why they don't want me. They're just killing people. They're not capturing anybody.
Wow.
So I got frustrated, and I went into the deputy director's office, and I said, again, he was a friend of mine, and I said, "Man," I said, "if you don't send me to Afghanistan right now, I am going straight to Exxon with my Arabic, and I'm not looking back." A totally empty threat. And he goes, "Just fucking relax," he says. "Relax. Can you go to Pakistan?" And I said, "Yes." "When?" He said, "Tomorrow." I said, "Yes. What do you want me to do there?" He said, "I want you to be chief of counterterrorism ops." I said, "Okay." So I called my then girlfriend. She became my wife later, and we can get into that later. And I said, "I got to go to Pakistan." "When?" "Tomorrow." She said, "Okay, I'll meet you at your place. I'll help you pack." And the next day I went to Pakistan.
Wow.
I was there 6 or 7 months.
And one of the first things you did, or one of the main